What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 16 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Orion Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Orion has moved through and razed the territories of Nakari, destroying him or banishing him, I should say, and acquiring the very lovely Tyrion Owes Me and defeat trait. The character experience gain faction-wide is nice. The speed plus 20% for the army, not necessary, but also super nice. That does mean that Ulthuan is more or less safe. I'd say Bellicor is still potentially a thorn in their side, but hopefully not for much longer. If he comes down here especially, we'll have Orion hunt him down, and maybe even go all the way up here to destroy Conquata and come back. Frankly, it's unlikely that we can keep Conquata, but, well, I guess we can maybe give it a try. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, there's a very interesting little bit. Now, between the episodes, while I was doing diplomacy as I usually do, checking for wars, or additional wars, that sort of thing, I discovered something. And that something was this. Draika is currently at minus 13% to Confederate. She's currently wounded, and so is, well, actually, I don't know if Coadil is wounded, but she's definitely wounded, so she did lose her main stack. I assume that if Coadil was there, he's probably not in this army, and I don't see the little sign from a hero changing the army, so he's probably wounded as well. But anyway, what I'm getting at is 13 Confederation is something that we can deal with. We should be able to force a Confederation with Draika. Now, the way to do this... Alright, let's see. And there's essentially two methods. I don't know which one is more expensive. I did take a look at joining wars against various factions between the episodes, and unfortunately, most of them are too expensive. The other option would be to try to go for a military alliance, which would cost us 24k, and borrow this army. Ooh, but I don't know whether we have enough allegiance to do so. All right, we'll try the first method, the same method that we've done in other campaigns. So what we're going to do is we're going to get them to join war, specifically against the scaling, because it's one of the ones I tested that we actually had enough money to do so, because minus 3.5 is already 20k. Anything more, like the Bloody Hands or like the Bone Rattlers, are like 10, which we can't afford because it would be like 50k or something required. So if we do this, like so. Oh! We can... Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. We can immediately confederate. I like it. I like it a lot. I was going to do this in a slightly different manner, but apparently this worked out quite well. All right. The way that I was going to do that was join war, pay the money, and... Oh, wait. Actually, I think that was the entirety of the plan. The other way was to borrow the army, which had multiple steps, but this'll work, It does cost a little bit of cash, but it'll be worth it. I was really worried about not being able to confederate Draika for this campaign, so yeah. Most definitely necessary. Especially since Draika is best girl. Anyway, Griffinwood is now ours, and only one tree remains, or one forest remains, Orion's camp. And ooh, Draika, not too bad. We've got an Azray Forge here and lots of stuff. We are going to delete this building, though. And I guess we can delete the Deepwood camp as well. I'm not so sure whether we need the Trickster's Gallery, but we'll hold off on it for now. Anyway, Confederation with the War Grove of Woe. Draika is presumably still wounded. For 4 turns. Now, here's the question. Here's the real question is... Oh no, no, okay, he's here. Oh, I got so worried for a second that there was no Coadil here and that we didn't get him, but looks like we have Coadil as well. Isn't it lovely? And oh yes, malevolent dryads with bows. Oh, Strasleith, I'd love you. I did not expect this. And that's a fair few of them as well. Oh, I'm happy. I'm very happy with this. The likelihood that these guys go for Essen. Probably reasonably likely, but nonetheless. Strasleith, we need you to recruit anything. I guess what we want you to do is we want you to move to Essen and potentially defend it. We really don't want to lose Mordheim either. Alright, I guess we're going here until Draika is back. And now we need to try to maintain friendly relations with the Ice Court so that we, well, don't lose their, and we don't lose territories to the north. Mostly because we want to deal with the much better fights that we can get out of the forest encounters. Alright, so here's what we can do. We have gotten Needling, which we can give to the dwarfs. Now that Drika is part of our faction, we don't need to worry about the dwarfs hating us. We can try to be friends with them. So we'll transfer Needling to the dwarfs here. And sign a non-aggression pact. Can't get anything else, but that's fine. So we do have to be a little bit worried about the changeling, but no, whatever. Alright, hopefully this way Belagar will become eventually friendly with us, and if we can give him Flensburg, he'll like us even more. And he'll have a full province sort of in the middle of the empire. Speaking of the middle of the empire, we also got Talabaim out of these guys, though I am curious as to whether this will allow us to... nearing trades with Eatain, Talaqua, Heshwatla, and Tiranoc. How much money is this going to cost us? 2k. It'll pay for itself. Let's do the trade with Tyrion.
I'm waiting.
And that's about it, I think. At least of the trades, and we'll ignore everything else. Alrighty. Next up, what we wanted to do. Oh, right. I was trying to remember what my plan was, and the fact that joining war against scaling worked is lovely. The other option, there was a third option. If that hadn't worked, what we could have done is threatened Drika afterwards, because joining the war would have weakened her anyway, and then, of course, it would have taken us down to low reliability, and then it would have completely screwed our diplomacy for the next, like, 30 turns or whatever ridiculousness, but it would have been worth it to get Drika that way. I'm just really glad that it worked this way. And without having to resort to either of the other methods. But anyway, okay, we're definitely gonna need lots of branch wraiths now. Drake is gonna need like 4 of them. Hopefully we have enough capacity. We did get a couple of giant wolves as well. I guess we'll keep them. I don't think the cave bats are necessary. I want more dryads in the army. Anyway, branch wraiths. I honestly don't like any of these. I mean, I guess we could get the verdant agility, vigor loss for heroes army reduction. It's better than nothing. I'll get this one for now, and if we get a better one, we'll get a better one. And you can try to join the army. Anyway, I would like to trade Talabaim to the Empire. So, Empire, Talabaim, where are you? Right here. This is now our 27. How much is Karlberg worth, I wonder? Out of curiosity. Ooh, okay, we're not getting Karlberg, and Karlberg is part of this territory. Yeah, alright, fine. You can have Talabaim for money, I guess. It's not like they're in trouble anymore, and we now don't have to worry about them getting destroyed by Drika, which I do like. Should we set them to war against anybody, though? Already at war with the scaling, and these guys, we could try to have them fight the Ecstatic Legion. We basically destroyed the major threats. Now, you know what, let them just keep fighting Sylvania, I guess. Give us the money, take Talabaim. We could wait until they're richer. But on the other hand, they could just develop this. Yeah, take Talabaim, it's fine. Alright, and frankly, we'll probably give them Adgig and a few other things. Frankly, Adgig, you can... probably lose the world route pathway. We can build the wood building here. Oh, we can get gold at Wolfenburg as well. Yeah, we could keep a few random outposts like this. I just wanted these guys to have a full province here. Anyway, how's the Heathlands looking? Only Vitevo. We need a defensive alliance with these guys. They're probably not super into it at the current time, though. Maybe if we were to give them a territory or something, but I think we're okay. This place should grow relatively quickly. Anyway, I am very, very happy right now. That worked better than I was expecting it to. So, Deluric and Ellendelling. You're going to keep, well, just sort of jumping around Norska, raising stuff until you're good. So go here, and you follow. I suppose they could get intercepted if we are near a, like, proper stack, but we haven't been near one for a while, so I think we're okay. Orion is good. Ara, you're not going to recruit for now, but you will eventually. Durthu, you will now need to transfer the Wraiths of the Frozen Heart to Drika, as well as this branch Wraith, the Ancient Purist. Although the 3 branch rates are kind of working decently well in Durthu's army as well. I will think about it. It depends on if we want to replace more Dryads with Treekin, because Drake is going to be very Dryad heavy, but at the same time, she actually has range units. So there is that. But anyway, ride the world roots. We've got a fight here. So, Durthu, I'll level you up. Oaken Hearts, I think. Wait, can you even use Amber Spear? You can't use Amber Spear, can you? I mean, at the same time, do we even want to use Amber Spear? I don't know, but we do probably want the vigor loss reduction. An ancient bark makes the Treekin even more tanky. Wouldn't that be nice? Alright, fine, we'll get Oaken Hearts. And let's level up the Dryads. No, I lied. We actually want to save for Birch, Oak, and Willow because they buff Dryads, so I guess we'll wait on you. Except you... you can get, I think, Smoke and Mirrors. For when you cast. We only need to start saving in rank 13 or 12, I guess. 12, 13, no, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so it's 13. Alright. Alright. That's not too bad. Durthu, it's time to fight. Let's see what kind of battle we have in store. Hello. A stone horn with a harpoon launcher. Wow, I have not seen these things... I'm not sure I've ever seen these things since the game was released, basically. Since fighting a billion stone horns in the, in my Boris Ursus campaign, I just don't remember ever seeing a stone horn after that. It's literally been years. Huh, go figure. And Crushers as well. I don't think I've seen Crushers either. Fascinating. Okay, well, like I said, ooh, valiant defeat, high casualties, that's what I like to see. We are ambushing them, but perhaps with these types of units, they actually want to be ambushed. Sounds like a good battle to me, Durthu. Go. All right, here we go. I am particularly excited about this. We got Crushers, we've got a Ogre Giant, or a Slave Giant, Stonehorn, Mournfang Cavalry, Iron Guts, the likes of an Ogre, or Lead Belchers, an Ogre army, the likes of which I haven't seen in far, far too long. And I'm sure those Crushers are going to crush at least a few Dryads, as they've got massive damage on them. Anyway, we've deployed our entire army to deal with the Crusher threat first, and the Man-Eaters with Ogre Pistols, who, one of the very, very few units that are going to be an actual threat to the Treekin, as those Ogre Pistols are devastating. Once again, I make note of it every single time, but remembering how ludicrously effective those Man-Eaters with Ogre Pistols were in my Aranessa campaign makes me have a very healthy respect for them. And Durthu roaring his rage as he moves into the fray with his Firebark Elders, and starts whacking away at the enemy giant, and we'll go after the Stonehorn afterwards. Stonehorn barreling through our forces of Dryads and even knocking a few of those Treekin down, but the Crushers are no slouches either, still a massive unit and towering over the Treekin as well. Towering over them, however, does not mean dishing out crazy amounts of damage. It does look like at least a few of our Dryads have started to feel the pain. A little bit more of an even contest here as Dryads and Treekin face off against the Man-Eaters with Ogre Pistols, who fire in melee range and whack away with those big old swords of theirs, each one of which is, by the looks of it, bigger than a Dryad is. That said, all these piles of ogres still need to actually overcome the Treekin to dish out proper damage. Durthu has sent the Slave Giant fleeing, though it does look like he will get charged by Crushers. Probably not such a great idea. The Crushers should have gone after other things, as there's really nothing in this army that's going to be able to deal with Durthu. And down goes at least one of the Crushers, but the fact that they took, what, 3 blows to bring down is still pretty darn impressive. Alright, keep it going, Durthu. And it looks like the stone horn is broken as well and will be back in a way. The slave giant is returning and the crushers have all flown and come back as well. Once again, the forest spirits, with the negative leadership that they give to the enemy, makes sure that they rout fairly often and quickly, but it does mean that they will return to the fray. It also does mean that faster units, like the crushers that we can't catch up to, are able to rally and hit us from a different direction, forcing our units here to be surrounded. Luckily, at least our Treekin are immune to flanking, and so long as we blob up like this, we can combine Shield of Thorns and the Vissen's Wild Form upgraded. Plus 46 armor, giving Dryads 136 on top of that melee damage reflection. Though admittedly, I don't know how effective melee damage reflection is against ogres in particular. I'm sure it's still doing some decent work. Alright, certainly having to work for this particular battle. Deru working away at that giant once more. We're trying to keep the most hurt unit of Dryads, which is here in the center of our formation, so that they don't lose any more units. And once again, I do really like the way that the forest spirits look like like a moving forest sort of deal. And the ogres may tower over those units, but there's a lot of Dryads hitting them, and they will still get brought down over time. I do wish that Iron Gut had fallen on cue, but oh well. Big ol' hit with that two-hander. How you doing, Iron Guts, by the way? About down to half HP. We're having a little bit of trouble knocking individual units down to this point. We are dishing out the damage, but delivering killing blows is right now limited probably mostly to Deru. Well, maybe not mostly to Deru, but he's got the easiest time of it, let's say. That I think nobody would deny. And man, this army's looking pretty colorful too. Just throw a few malevolent Dryads in there and we'll have lots of different color schemes working together. I like color-coordinated armies, but I also really love very colorful armies. Specifically, or the Bretonnians are a really good example of this, with all those different colored bardings all over the place. I'm very into the camouflage as the color of fear concept, and I think the army should be seen. We're right here, come get us sort of deal. Alrighty, how are we doing here? 90% bounce power in our favor, maybe 95%. A few of those, or a few more of those ogres, I'm sure, will once again rally for like the 5th time. Oh, Stonehorn. 60 kills on it and plenty of damage, and now doing additional damage with that harpoon. Alright, this thing will probably have by far the biggest amount of damage dealt to us. And I do wonder whether those harpoons are capable of bringing down Treekin. Looks like that one smashed into a Treekin and did not bring it down, at least with a single blow, which is probably a good thing for us. Anyway, by the looks of it, most of the enemy army is done for. Oh, looks like the Ogre Bulls with Iron Fists are back. Stonehorn's just going to sit there until it runs out of ammunition, I guess, but Deru is going to stay with the main formation now. No need to move him out just to hunt down the Stonehorn. Also, he's very far away because he was trying to chase down the enemy lord and the lead belchers. So we wouldn't have been able to chase down that Stonehorn anyway, but I suppose there's no need and no capability, A, because we're too slow to do so, and B, because the enemy army has shattered, and it will fire no more. We'll do our best to try to chase down at least a couple of units making use of that frostbite on those Wraiths of the Frozen Heart, but we can do so off-screen. A very, very nice fight, and several of the Dryads units did get heavily damaged. I do wonder whether we lost any of our Treekin. We generally don't lose Treekin, but look at these guys. Down to nearly half HP on the Moonspring Sentinels. Still managed to do nearly 20k damage, though. It's almost bizarre seeing the numbers sometimes when fighting ogres, because you have very, very low kill counts, but can have massive amounts of damage. Which is pretty neat. Anyway, we'll chase the rest off screen or whatever we can. Alrighty, a very, very nice fight and most definitely worth fighting. Though, once again, the Forest Spirits, or not the Forest Spirits, the ancillary Forest Spirits, do seem to be working against us a little bit, in the sense that the enemy seems to rout very, very quickly, but then when fighting annoyingly fast armies like the ogres here, they'll rally like 50 times. It was almost like fighting very, 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 very oversized skaven. Just as voracious, though. But anyway, we'll take the money. And the army will still be alive and will back away from us, which is a teensy bit annoying, but what can you do? Salt expert for Deru, and I'm just going to assume that the army will attack us next turn again, in which well, we'll destroy them and then we'll head back towards these ones. At least we're healing here, so yeah. Deru surprisingly didn't level despite the relative difficulty and eliteness of that particular fight, but all good. We're getting in the real good fights now, so we should get a lot of upcoming great battles throughout the campaign. Anyway, Loren, we want you to destroy Ekrand. I'm willing to bet that they'll sally out, however. Yeah, there's a solid garrison plus stack here. Let's give them the chance to sally out. Gleaming Pennant on you, I think. Not that the Disciplined is going to be particularly useful. We'll still build some siege engines, but I'd like to try out the army in its current form, and its newer, improveder form. Sestashal, you're trying to join this army here. Strathot, you are trying to join Daith over there. Might as well move the heroes while we're here as well. Tech Thief, let's get some Tech Thievery, shall we? Steal Tech from here, try not to fail. Tech Thief, next Tech Thief. Don't immediately die. Okay, you'll immediately fail, but at least you didn't immediately die. We will deal. We will deal. Tech Thief's causing problems. While we're looking at heroes, let's look at other heroes. Ooh, hello. We got a free Glade Captain here. Destructive is terrible. It's terrible. Oh, there's such a big difference, but we're at 8 out of 7, so I think we can't delete you. We actually want you in the flying army because you will provide fear for the flyers via death from above. Yeah. Oh. Huh. The vigor loss reduction also applies to the Hawk Riders. I hadn't realized that, though obviously the Strider is presumably not super relevant to them. Although, I suppose, wait, speed and combat penalties caused by terrain. Actually, maybe Strider would be... Even if combat penalties caused by terrain can apply to Hawk Riders or to flying units in general once they land. Well, anyway, we'll make use of you for now. Azrit, who are you and where are you going? You are, oh, right, you are a new Grove Guardian. You're gonna stay here with Nath until you're ready to transfer to him. A Spell Singer, that's breezy. You're going to transfer to the Sisters of Twilight, so get ready to go over there. And Nath, I would like you to go to Val's Anvil. Wherein, let's just see here. Oh, you can't recruit this turn? Alright, fine. I should have just sent Findal there. And, oh! I hadn't realized that that had happened. That means Morgar is here. Oh, that's not great. Datan, I have a change of what we're going to do with you. Damn, I was gonna move down and destroy the ogres, but I guess we can't leave Morgar running around and annoying us, so we'll go back here. Maybe these guys will reclaim it, but who knows? Damn, they lost their capital too, so just like Athel Loren, they're going to be very much a crippled faction until they can, well, rebuild some of their good military structures. Anyway, Findal, you're fine. Dave, 'tis up to you, sir. You were heading out to Crookback Mountain. Will the rats fight us, I wonder? I would love to draw their garrison out and get a nice fight. We still have no mages here, but... Alright, Dave, give it a try. Let's see what we have here. Cyprus the Infectious. And they will indeed fight. This is actually a lot. A lot, without a mage. Would we be able to win this? I don't know. We can retreat should we desire to do so. We really would like a mage here. That is a lot of rats, and we are damaged. But it's just so tempting. I just can't say no to a fight, even when it's a bad idea. A terrible, terrible idea. Go. Alrighty, here we go. I'd wager that this is going to be a toughie. Very, very much so. Indeed. So we're going to have to be careful. The first of the enemy armies is deployed outside the enemy settlements, so we are going to try to quickly destroy this one. Specifically, we really need to target and destroy that enemy frickin' Warlock Master, which has already stopped our flyers in their tracks, and due to that howling warp gale. What an irritating spell when you have a flying army, and funnily enough, the all-flying army is going to be the Sisters of Twilight army, and we get to confederate them via the destruction of Skaven, which does make sense. They really don't want to be howling warp gale. Anyway, Wildwood Rangers moving in. I do like the sort of more hulking armor that they have. It's nice. Anyway, let's see. Will we be able to bring that Warlock Master down? I suppose it doesn't matter over much as it will shatter. We got about 30 seconds to a minute left on the enemy reinforcements, depending on which particular reinforcement is coming in. So we got a few more seconds of chasing down the basic clan rat and skaven slaves of this army. And though unfortunately the rats do run too fast, Scurry Away does let them run rather quickly. And we certainly won't be able to chase them down without cavalry. That's alright though, we'll send Daeth, our Glade Lord, to knock down the enemy Lord, who falls rather quickly. I made mention of this before, especially in the Emmerich campaign, but Eagles are quite good at assassinating single entities and chasing. Is there anything that Eagles can't do? Well, let's find out if they can survive, because we got a lot of enemies and plenty of elites to work with. Now, the enemy is coming in as a reinforcement. We are certainly not going to let them move into formation. They have plenty of space to move onto the field, and we're just going to charge them directly as fast as we can. And there's two reasons for this. One is that we want to get all the enemies in the blob and engaged so that we can fire our arrows at them, and two, so that hopefully we can keep them as close to running off the field as possible. As we've already seen, the enemy is too fast to actually catch with our forces in this particular army. And thus we're free to actually let them escape off field. As long as we target the appropriate units, like the enemy elites, the enemy range units, the enemy lords and heroes, we can hopefully kill those off and allow the rest of the enemy units to escape and besiege the enemy settlement afterwards. There was no way we were going to chase the enemy off anyway, so I think this is probably the best tactic. Granted, we kind of switched to this tactic on the fly as it became apparent that chasing the Skaven was impossible, so let's hope that it works out well for us. Anyway, all the Wildwood Rangers and Wardens are engaged. Looks like a few of the Wardens of Sithrall Regiment of Renown have dropped here. We do still have to be careful, as they are most definitely engaged against a big ol' Skaven blob. Skaven are all, by the looks of it, moving into melee now. They still do have plenty of space to move onto the field, so I don't feel bad about going close to the edge of the screen. Especially as long as we're not pressing them up all the way to the edge where they can't actually move. And all things considered, once again, I do feel like, well, if you know where the reinforcements are coming in, you can and should take advantage of it. The AI certainly does so as well in certain situations. I've certainly been on the receiving end of the same from the AI, and if the AI can do it, then the player is free to do it as well. Anyway, we got a nice sort of, I want to say shootout, brawl, I guess, between the Wildwood Rangers and the Plague Monks. Similar to the Eagles, I have a healthy respect for the Plague Monks after Clan Pestilence. And they're having a pretty solid fight against the Wildwood Rangers here. The armor piercing is wasted on them, and of course the plague rats are unbreakable. The bodies of the regular rats, however, are a different story, as the enemy are starting to run out of units. The balance of power shifts to about 90% in our favor, and unlike previous battles, the leadership reduction from our forest spirits is actually working well in our favor, as it is forcing the enemies off field rather quickly. Yes, it does mean a lot of those units that are forced off field are surviving, but at the same time, once again, we're targeting specific units here, plus all the unbreakable units will be destroyed down to a single rat. And it looks like we outnumber the rats now, and the rats must know that they are doomed as soon as their numbers drop below those of elves. I do love watching those Wildwood Rangers and Wardens work with their weapons, though. They're very fun. They have a very fun set of weapons. Alright, and by the looks of it, the last of the out. No, I lied. There's 4 more Plague Monks left over here. From a different unit, which is why I forgot about them. And I shouldn't have, because we watched their little skirmish against the flanking units of Wildwood Rangers for a while. Anyway, there we go. With that, a lot of the, well, most of the enemy units have escaped, but we have managed to win the day and destroy plenty. We did take plenty of damage ourselves, though. Lots and lots of our Wildwood Rangers and Wardens and down to below half HP, and several got nearly destroyed. This one down to only 27 units, so it won't recover at the end of the battle. Though a lot of the Wildwood Wardens, at least, will probably recover. Well, actually, 26 out of 40. Not by much. Alright, we'll see if the army remains viable enough to besiege and destroy the enemy capital, which we certainly do want, and, well, we'll still probably try, no matter how damaged we are. Lovely close fight. Alright, there we go. Very nice indeed. The treasure, the reward is a little, though a lot of enemy units did escape. We still managed to put a fairly decent dent in a lot of the forces. We also got a significant amount of cash from the actual battle, even if not post-battle. Now, we are going to have to heal right after we take a look at what kind of damage we got. Oh, we need more names for Wildwood Rangers and Wildwood Wardens, people. Apparently, they have not been named really at all, and I got like... Let me see here. I got like 1 name for them. That's not enough. Anyway, the Wildwood Wardens, 25k is probably the one that is going to be the most damage by far. Hardly surprising. Of course, the Way Watchers did well as well, but they're never going to be as powerful in this army as they are in others. The Glade Captains also did fantastic, and damn well they should, considering we need them in all the other armies, but we're keeping them here because... Anyway, we'll abduct the captives. I don't know what you're going to do with all those rats, but... all good. Alrighty, and Scalpos will walk away. We got another Vol's Anvil Smith, a Banner of the Eternal Queen. Hello. Damage resistance in area. Well, that's real interesting. Now that's a question. Who do we put this on? I'm actually inclined to say, considering we do have a tendency to send the Wild Riders into melee range, that this might be a solid banner to put on Orion. Well, not on Orion himself, because he wants to use the War Banner, but like on the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Yeah. Alright, well, you don't need the Young Stag anymore, so lose that, and instead... Alright. What does Drake get? Fang of Talroth. Okay, no faction-wide effects. We'll take a look at her items and stuff later on. And we'll do the Banner of the Eternal Queen on Orion. Frankly, I do feel like other armies could use it as well, or maybe even more so than Orion, but he should have the best. Anyway, we did kill plenty of lords and heroes in that particular army, because we were focusing on sniping them with the Way Watchers, as well as the damaging them with the Glade Captains. There was never going to be a way that the Glade Captains would, or not the Glade Captains, that we would kill enough of the enemies anyway, so that's the way we did it. Crookback Mountain. Hello? Alright. For a second we couldn't attack, and unfortunately we don't have any way to besiege, or not besiege, we don't have siege attackers, so the enemy may try to attack us again next turn with Scalpos reinforcing, and we may have to fight that fight again. And we may even have more enemies coming in, but we shall see. I do imagine Crookback Mountain should also be worth a decent chunk of change, so we should be pretty happy about it as well. You guys like us? Oh yeah, they really like us. As odd as that may seem, but all good. And yeah, we're still keeping Black Crag. I'm also now wondering whether Carrick 8 Peaks is like Black Crag and counts as a special location as well. Which also probably killed them off. I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that, well, with every turn, the number of factions dwindles, so, well, we won't be able to support our armies nearly as well. Several of our units are really expensive when we have to pay full price for them, so we'll have to wait. Now, Loren, that was this turn, right? Yeah, that was this turn, so you're gonna have to wait. You also don't have Siege Attacker anyway. At least until you have your... At least until you have your Forest Dragon, which will be a bit, admittedly. So, Bindal, you don't need to recruit, or maybe you do, but I need to see the other stuff first. Akka, and you. Okay, you guys, I'd like you to do several things. So, you, Orliaruth, Warden of the Weald. You have a Royal Standard Bearer. We don't actually need you as an army, really. What do you have here, by the way? Wings of the Forest and Ancient Bark. Huh. Which is funny, because you don't have any of those units. I probably want to reset you. Can somebody else take your army? Somebody who's free? We'll use this Elendil. Regeneration. Spell resistance, minus 25 casualty. What the heck? You're really good. Damn. You're really good. And regeneration on top of all that. You know what, I would actually like you to lead a proper army, so I think we'll send you elsewhere. We'll use Azerit for now for this particular purpose. Okay, so what we want to do is this. Akka, you cannot be intercepted by anything here, right? I guess, you know what, let's not risk it. Go like this. You, oh, I guess you guys can't reach each other anyway. Alright, that's fine. They'll reach each other next turn. I want to trade their units and I want to send Orliath elsewhere. You two enter the army, though.
They will not succeed.
And we gotta wait until the hunt unslumbers itself. Alright, good. Then, well, I guess we could trade the Spellsinger Beasts to you. Well, then again, Transformation of Kadan does allow us to summon more eagles, which is great. More flyers for the flying army, so maybe we should have a beast. Man, 2 mages, though. I guess they will be on eagles, though, so that's not so bad. Anyway, what I wanted to do was you, Orliaruth. You are going to reset your skill points, and I should have checked your items, but too late. And we'll use Azerit for this purpose. Oh, Recruiter Shamaso is back with that 30 growth.
Your request is
Alright, wait. Azerit, are you able to travel faster with ever-reaching tendrils? You are now. Then, I guess since we want growth, Recruiter Shaw Muscle. We could put you into Kingsglade, which certainly still needs growth. Yeah. It's actually growing reasonably well, but nonetheless, we should have these growers everywhere. Just like we had growers in the High Elf campaign as well. What kind were you again? You're this kind. Warden of the Weald. Yes. Alright, Recruiter Shaw Muscle. Sit in Kingsglade. And do watch out for Morgar. Oh! Morgar's right here. He is quite close to being in range of Quenelle, though. I wonder if we might want to move Ara here to Quenelle just to defend it in case. She will want to... I mean, it's not like they can attack Kingsglade because it's too strong, but Quenelle's certainly a possibility. You know what? Go here. Oh, we would lose the construction cost reduction, but we can move back, since we know where Morgar is now, or at least one of his armies. Datan, you're gonna go there then. Alright, what about the rest of the moves?
Lord of the Glade.
What do we have here? Also, we did, well, we're trending towards reaching the engagement threshold, or at least becoming very, very close to it. Good enough for now. A little bit of a roller coaster, but we'll do the hour long for this one. Because I don't want to end the episode right now, so it is what it is. Zoltathios, you're fine. Akka, yes, you were up next. You're supposed to hit the plane of spiders, but alas, you cannot reach it. Alright, fine. Oh, I was going to trade Storag Core anyway. Clarkarond, you can have Storag Core. Oh, they'll go for the military alliance. Yeah, why not? More allegiance. We do want some of their stuff anyway, so go for it. We'll take it.
This serves Nagaryth.
Oh, lovely. Plus all these territories are supposed to go to them anyway. Anyway, you, my friend, are going to go into encamp stance and sit right outside of this territory. I don't know whether you can take the plane of spiders, but you're certainly gonna give it a try. I mean, you got new forces now. I was gonna also get more war lions. Do we have the capacity or the ability to do so? Let's see, or the allegiance rather. What do we have here? Not the war drum. I want to see whether we can build celestial lions as well. 19. Oh, they're actually not that expensive. Maybe we do 2 celestial lions in combination with the war lions, or we could do 2 more war lions. I kind of like the idea of the Celestial Lions better, because they can join the beasts as well. Yeah, we'll do that. Anyway, Loren, I don't know why I keep clicking you, considering you have to sit here for a turn. Anybody else? No. Now let's check heroes. Do we have anybody that can steal tech better? We are out of capacity, but I would be willing to delete... No, we don't have one anyway. Alright, well, gotta deal with it then. Alright, diplomacy. Let's see what we got here. Karakazul, you are kind of somewhat disliked by Imric, so I'm just going to leave you alone. We do have a little bit of money to spend, so let's see what we got in terms of building. Haunted Forest, you are waiting for the ritual's completion. Vidrioth, you have nothing. Forest of Gloom, we will build the craftsman thing, or upgrade it rather, because it's a faction-wide bonus, and then same thing here. More control and more growth for all provinces. Sacred Pools, you are waiting to grow, I mean. And then Vol's Anvil, I guess you're gonna go for foraging groves rather. Doomglade is beside the Witchwood, so you will still be able to buff it up a little bit. Yeah. And the rest of this is fine. Ice Rock Gorge, you are... I mean, I guess technically you're also beside the Witchwood, but until we move an army down here, I'd rather keep the Waystone there. I feel like it'll be more beneficial. I'll also probably replace the cattle pastures with another one of these just to grow the Witchwood faster, but in a little bit. Anyway, Sacred Pools, you're waiting, and I believe that's all. Certainly not a lot of building to be building. We can, that means recruit should we desire to do so. And, well, should we have capacity to do so. Could get some more Forest Eagles. We do need more flyers. Yeah, fine. Start on the Eagles. Oh, wow, they cost a lot. Wait a moment. Oh, we can't build them at the Waterfall Palace. Well, this place does have the Azray Armory. We need all military structures available here. Frankly... Oh, that's where we built the Forest Patrols, because we don't have a trade good to be built there. Alright, fine. Spend the money then. Build more Great Forest Eagles. Unless I'm mistaken, there's nothing else to be built here. Well, I could go for the Treekin. You know what? We do want more Treekin. Whether to put in an auto-resolve army or not. So we'll start you here then, Findal, and build the Treekin cheaper. 1, 2, 3. Get them all in capacity. And we'll hold off on the rest of that, at least until we can build Stag Knights and Dragons. I do believe that is that. Let's send the turn, which probably will send potentially 3 attacks against us. At least I hope so. Go. I think I checked all the heroes, right? Well, if I didn't, too late now. Alright, Disciples of the Maw will want peace. They are rebuilding their armies, but we are not going to peace out with them, as I don't really see the need or purpose. Alright, Clan Moors, Clan Rictus, Clan Molder, and Rictus did not, in fact, attack us out of Crookback Mountain. Well, that's just fine, because we are building up our siege equipment, and we'll be able to use them to send the Wildwood Rangers up into the settlement. I think that'll work. And are you telling me the Savage Orcs also did not sally? Oh, wow, really? Kind of surprising. These guys will attack us, but I guess we're gonna have to fight this manually real quick, because we're damaged already, so fight the battle. Gotta reduce our casualties. Frankly, to reduce our casualties further, I think we will avoid using the Dryads in this particular fight. And just use the Treekin, because the Dryads are already heavily damaged. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, with the Dryads being a little bit fragile for Durthu's purpose. Also, if we just had Treekin and Treeman in this army, we could do a Death Star, and there's also the fact that the Dryads have Vanguard deployment and these guys don't. But anyway, all of you together in a blob. I was talking about Death Starring, so why not? Let's do this. So this Firebark Elders actually want you in the back because you're constantly getting damaged somehow. Also, it's the auto-resolve that doesn't like it, but anyway. Start deployment, and you know what? Rates of the Frozen Heart, I want you in here as well, because you have the reductions. Durthu, you're going to be Group 1, everybody else is going to be Group 2. You guys are going to bring up the rear to potentially join the fray, but not the most damaged ones, which are you, so go Group 3. Start deployment, start battle. Durthu, march forward, you don't care, you take what you want. And you guys, move here, say, oh, they're actually moving towards us. Alright then. Now that's fine by me. Durthu, activate your Forbidden Rod. Then, I would like you to actually use your Lamentation of Despair, let's say, on these lead belchers, who are firing away as they do. It's fine, stay in a blob, let them surround us. And you know what, you guys move back until the battle is well joined. Yeah, man. How close to... you know, they should really make Lamentation of Despair a much further damaging ability, since it's very hard to use in the first place. Alright, attack, everybody attack. Oh, you know what? Blob up and attack. Keep it in... put it in a nice formation. Alright, then we'll do one of these to buff everybody up, then we'll do a debuff, and we'll pop a Shield of Thorns. Durthu, you're going to pop that Sword of Death, and you're going to annoy the enemy a little bit with that Flock of Doom. And everybody's gonna attack. You guys are now ready to move in, so let's go. Now let's speed this up a little bit, since we've already defeated these guys. No real worry about us taking too much damage. And there we go, the enemies breaking themselves upon the Shield of Thorns in the Vicin's wild form. Too tanky for them to do much. Alright, and keep going at least, or march stance. The Shield of Thorns until it's out. Pop another. I guess we could watch a little bit of it. Ooh, let's activate the second Helm of Discord and watch Durthu whack away. You know what, you should probably move towards the Giants, since the Treekin are not going to have an easy time of it. I do like seeing Durthu move through the enemy. Damn, look at that stagger, very nice. And damn, staggering that Giant with every blow. Giant can't even swing his club, poor guy. Or very dead guy, because a couple more hits and he's going to be done for. Let's buff everybody up further. Durthu has killed the Giant, and will now move towards the enemies. Do we still have Shield of Thorns? We do, though I know not for how long. Let's just activate the next one. Dryads, group up and strike. Frankly, you're probably going to take a little bit of damage here, especially against the Crushers, but perhaps the charge will force force enough morale shock so that the enemy army will just shatter. And by the looks of it, that's kind of what's happening. Durthu chased down the enemy lord, and there we go. Now, they did attack us again, but I'm not sure they'll survive or not, so let's do our best to chase them down. I shouldn't have sped it up, should have Melkoths these guys so that we could chase them down a little bit more, but all good. Alright, there we go. Easy little fight, one unit killed. I wonder if it was one of the Treekin. Might have been one of the Firebark Elders, or it might have been one of the Dryads once they moved on in. We shall see. Hopefully this also leveled up the branch wraiths enough so that they can buff up the Dryads a little bit. Although now that we have Dryka coming in, we're not so worried about it, because she will have a Dryad army. Anyway, we are going to release the captives once more. I'm a little bit tempted by kill captives. The reload time reduction isn't too helpful for Durthu's army, so Alright, and is that army destroyed? Ooh, hello, Midsummer Sacrifice time. So, we have income from cities plus 25%, for down to 8.6k. Magic item drop chance plus 100%, campaign movement range. Ooh. Construction minus 5 for magical trees in settlement buildings. That's real nice. Though we do need money to actually make good use of it. Oh man, there's a lot of good stuff. We like that campaign movement range as well, especially since we're moving around in a lot of places. 5 turns is a pretty big change, though. You know what? I'm gonna go with Blooming Bud's Sacrifice. Trickster cult discovered in Mordheim. How dare they burn it down immediately. Yeah, it's cheap to burn down. Lovely. And considering Mordheim is an actual landmark, we definitely don't want to lose it. I think it's the... Is it the only landmark that Wood Elves have? I mean, obviously they have a landmark in every single tree, but it's one that you have to unlock. But like an actual landmark that you can find, is that the only one? I wonder. Clan Wars, Clan Rictus, Clan Molder, everybody getting pestilenced up. Ambusher discovered. There's Morgar. Ally loses outpost. Did they lose Nangao? The western... Wait, what? Huh? Action destroyed top knots. Wait a moment. Ready for duty, Sisters of Twilight. Forced invasion because... game, I need to see this. Oh, what the heck is going on? Trickster cult destroyed. Good. The western provinces broke our agreement. And so did the northern provinces. They both broke their agreement? Okay, what the heck? That can't be the Tzeentchins, can they? They can't do that to two of us. Can they? On the same turn? I don't think so. That's really not good. And the reason that it's not good is that this army was very much buffed up by the war drum in it. Now it doesn't have one. That's really annoying. And I was really banking on making good use of those units. Why the heck? This is the second time that the agreements have been broken. Man, and we had legions coming in as well. And okay, just out of curiosity, if we do this, select one of our own territories. Yeah, broken treaties, minus 115. They both broke the treaty on the same turn. Okay, if anybody can explain what the heck is going on, please tell me, because I don't understand. And when I do understand, I'll be annoyed about it, because that's stupid. I mean, yeah. Trying to enjoy the game here, and the game's like, no, thank you. But anyway, Forest calls for you. Hopefully we can auto-resolve this without taking too much damage. I'm a little bit concerned, but do it anyway. Dryads are probably going to take damage here. Yeah, some. The heal's not worth it, so let's release the captives. Oh, and now that these guys aren't allies, we no longer have the Heathlands buffing us up. Oh, game, you're being very irritating. What the heck? Alright, well, either way, I guess we will travel in Master Ambusher stance. I guess they didn't break the military access agreement. And we'll see if these guys come for us. Oh, and good, they have a Nurgle Plague on them now. You know what? That's what you get. That's what you deserve. You deserve a Nurgle Plague. Suffer. Orion. Did Throt run away? Throt? We built these guys for you. Maybe we'll put the Lost Sylvan Knights in Orion's army. Remove one of the Wild Riders with shields, maybe? I'll think about it. Either way, grab this mysterious island. We're not needed here anyway. Go for Mushroom Stew, and what do we have here? Banner of the Hunter King. Okay, that has to go to Orion. And, oh, it only affects one unit? It's an area augment that affects one unit. Interesting. Put them on the Wild Hunters, I guess. And Vanguard deployment for assigned unit. Orion already has Vanguard deployment and everything, so it's not needed, funnily enough. But I do like the massive charge bonus. Alright, anyway. Curse of Cannibalism, Regeneration. Fair enough. I could see the Wild Riders engaging in a little cannibalism. Not super far-fetched. And, oh wow, we have no room to take anything away unless we want to lose the Banner of the Eternal Queen, which I feel like we do not. I want to lose the range in Orion, or the additional armor on Orion, because he's fairly low armored. Maybe the enemy leadership reduction via Forest Spirits. It does really help against demons, but I guess that's what we gotta lose. Gotta have the Banner of the Hunter King and the Eternal Queen. This is only appropriate. Alright, Orion, grab the fell cargo. And I have no idea where Throt went, so I guess we're just going to ignore him. Spell to the wreck, ought to resolve this real quick. Ooh. Put the Eternal King on you, I guess. And put the Eternal Queen on... I mean, it should be one of these guys. One that's always with the other Wild Hunters. I'll just put it with the... Yeah, let's put it on you. Alright, I'll resolve this, obviously. Huh. When did the Spellsinger get damaged? What the heck, game? Why do you do weird things? And we'll heal up just so we don't have to, you know, think about healing again. Hopefully the High Elves can be left to reclaim the territories on Ulthuan that they're missing. Competent Protector. Treasury bonus. Nothing else? Oh well. Bellacore. You're looking to move towards the Bretonnians. I would like your defeat traits, so I'm sure Orion would as well. Let's move here. We don't suffer attrition. Maybe we can spot wherever Throt went. Ah, there he is. Maybe while... Oh, no, he's gonna run from us. Ain't no way. Oh! I stand cold eye might actually attack us because we're in march stance. He'll still get wrecked, of course, but that'll be unfortunate because we're at war with him, and yeah. You know what, Akka, stay here for now. Including the Lost Sylvan Knights. We don't want to bother sending Orion back, so I'd really rather try to keep the Shrine of Cain. And hopefully these guys don't end their defensive alliance. Frickin' Katha. Oh well. Deluric and Elendilling. Elendilling, go into Forest Calls and get this. Deluric, get ready to go into... camp stance, like so. Auto resolve, close battle. One of the wild glade riders will die to this, to this. Maybe I'll do this between the episodes if I remember. I might not because they're besieging, but we'll see. Or I'll see at any rate. Well, I guess you guys will see next episode. Loren. So surprised that these guys did not actually sally out. Cowardly. Absolutely cowardly. This one might... Wait, can we cinematic battle this? I honestly feel like this will be a particularly boring battle because we're just going to be firing over the walls until everything is dead inside. This is that kind of army. I'll think about it. We might still fight it. Stay besieged for now. Nath, you're kind of stuck where you are, ain't ya? Minus the potential for recruitment. Let's see what we got here. Ah, we got more Hawk Riders and more Eagles. Yes, we will build those. We definitely need them for the Sisters of Twilight, who are ready to move. So, let us do this. We will... Okay. Let's see how we do this. Use Eternal Guard or Dryads. It doesn't really matter. Alright, let's do Dryads. How many Eternal Guards do you have?
Lady of the Glade.
I want to delete most of these units. And transfer them to you. I guess the Sisters of Twilight don't have to move this turn. They can still follow Akka for a bit. Alright, fine. Here's what we'll do then. We'll go to the Temple of Adioth. We will get you, Sisters of Twilight, in here. And recruit rather than replace. Yes, this means that you can't move, but it does mean that we can transfer you stuff without being too worried about it. Like so. Don't bother... Well, yeah, no. Keep the Spellsinger and the Flyers, like so. That... Why are you moving past that? Then we will move you down here. And we'll send Akka to transfer stuff to you. And the stuff that we want to transfer is, I guess, more Glade Guard, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, good enough. And good enough. Then you guys are going to move southward. When the hunt is back up, what we're going to do is we're going to send this full stack and we're going to pop it into the Shrine of Cain. They're just going to sit there for the rest of the campaign. I think that should be sufficient for no army to dare to attack those. Even with basic units. Or at least I hope that's the case, because that's what we're going to do. Anyway, Loren, you're still in the siege. Datan. I am incredibly salty about the loss of that war drum now. I was really excited about using it. Now we have to put something else in your arm. Oh, and we deleted an Eternal Guard for that. I guess we could get one of these guys. Yeah, alright. I mean, let me just see here. We have Skycutters? No. Anything? I want a support unit with those guys. I mean, technically, well, another support unit, let's say. Alright, I guess we're just gonna get another Eternal Guard for them. Fair enough. Might be faster to build one, but it would be more expensive. I'll take one from Nath. Alright, March stance, go over to Nath, grab one of the higher level Eternal Guard. Actually, comparison here, they're all higher level. So you know what? Take them all and you'll transfer them. I was going to transfer them to the army that was going to be in the Shrine of Cain, but this will work, I think, for now at least. Anyway, let's take a look at what we've got point-wise for the Sisters of Twilight here. So, challenge to Day's favor. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, speed for elven units, reload time reduction. This is all nice. Let us get first ever reaching tendrils. Is inseverable. Word say +10. The Queen's emissaries give us diplomatic relations with High Elves, Wood Elves, and Dark Elves. Regardless of their mysterious origins, all elves know Nystra and Arhan speak with the authority of their beloved Mage Queen. How much do the Dark Elves really care about that? Campaign movement range, casualty or punishment rate? I mean, the Dark Elves do engage in trade. I'm just being facetious, at least a little bit. Yeah, Arhan's Reckoning, ambush success chance, income from post-battle loot and raising, always nice. We got, yeah, campaign movement range, casualty or punishment trait, and guardian. And most importantly, Master of the Eries. Flying units, vanguard deployment, upkeep reduction, and physical resistance. All great for him. And enemy range reduction. Oh, an army's faction-wide +1 for Volley of Kurnos. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, wait. It's Volley of Kurnos. Oh, wait, that is only for when these guys are... Yeah, we don't have that. That's for when Hawk Riders are part of their faction, not ours. But anyway. Word save and enemy range reduction is still useful. Only the enemy range reduction could be acquired by additional means, as in not through the Shadow Dancers. But oh well. Inspiring Presence and, of course, Wings of the Forest, since you're going to be flying around a lot. We'll start with Wings of the Forest, and then we'll go for Speed of the Hunter and Rain of Spines afterwards. Now we just need units, but fortunately we are building them, and if we wanted to, we could transfer a bunch of flyers, or at least the eagles, from this army. I have to actually figure out how many eagles we want, though for now they're going to take place of dragons, though not completely. Let us go to the Haunted Forest, wherein we can build our first 2 forest dragons. Oh, we can't build forest dragons here, only treemen. And stag knights. We should probably build them, but let's see what we got in terms of building first. Also, do we want to wait for another turn for this? We only got 4 siege towers, which ain't a lot. I think we need more. Because I would like to send all the Wildwood Wardens up on the walls to obliterate everything up there. Also, does this place a special... No, wait, that's a pox cauldron. Huh. This may actually allow us for a cinematic fight. Ooh, an actual cinematic siege. Oh, this should be fun. This makes me want to fight it right now. We might fight this right now. And I think we will, but let's check out what else we have to do this turn, and then we'll deal with it. That's Death. Iskura. How far is Marcus? Did he sack this? I think he's just running from us. And it looks like Tehanawan will catch him. As long as nobody attacks the sacred pools, we're okay. This place is also barely growing, but what can you do? Go into... I was about to say ambush stance, but go right here. Why, hello, Mr. Marcus. You certainly won't be able to attack the Golden Colossus now. And we'll see if you can run from us. Probably not. Well, he'll have to go this way, and Tehanawan is on the way as well. Lovely. Helping out our lizard friends. Better friends than the Cathayans, by far, apparently. And this I'll try to do between the episodes. Iltathios we can ignore. Akka the Wanderer. You're also ready for... Ooh. I was about to say ready for a fight, but... Here's the problem. I got a lot of stuff there. That said, we could probably still deal with it. Anyway, you are supposed to be leeching XP here, but I do like the Withering. It is an area effect, so we'll do the Withering, we'll pop the Umbral Pendulum, and I guess we'll get Smoke and Mirrors as well. This or the Siege Battle. We probably don't have time for both, unfortunately. I'm gonna say the Siege Battle because I don't think we've seen one. Not... well... I don't remember if we have had one in this campaign at all, in fact. So yes, Deathly are going to strike because I think this will be fun and we'll fight some more rats. Go. Alrighty, to battle indeed, one of the rarely seen sieges where we can actually make use of our siege towers and just big old trunks of massive trees here with fungi all around, and the ram. I actually really like the Wood Elf ram and the Wood Elf towers. They're simple, but they certainly convey the theme and seem appropriate. I also like how there's the literal trees growing out of the ram as well. Alright, very nice. Anyway, we started on this particular settlement and we are damn well going to finish the job here in a good old-fashioned wall-storming siege. We are going to start the battle off, however, with moving all of our flyers towards the 2 units of enemy plague claw catapults. Definitely don't want these guys firing at our units as they climb the walls or fight atop said walls, so we're going to destroy them with our units of flyers. And the eagles should be pretty darn solid at this. Firing arrows into them even as the eagles strike. We also got to bring down the enemy towers, but the plague claw catapults have to take priority. Though fortunately, by the looks of it, they will be sent scurrying rather quickly. We have sent rather 1 glade captain to fight atop the walls. The eagles are going to be pretty good at clearing the walls as well, but we just needed to make sure that neither the rattling guns nor the unit, or units, I should say, 2 of death globes and, well, just globadiers generally, are able to fire upon our units as they draw close. We do have the Wardens of Sithral pushing the ram, as we want to have them bring down the gate and have the wardens move on in while the rest of the Wildwood wardens fight over the wall. Fortunately, though, it looks like a single glade captain was enough to send the rattling guns running, break the death globe bombardiers, and now start working on the poison winds. Did get a little bit surrounded over where our range, or rather where our flyers have landed. But that's alright, not a big deal. They are fighting storm vermin though, and they probably don't want to do so forever, as they will start taking damage. Unfortunately, we haven't yet had enough items to outfit every single unit, and thus we are still going to be rather vulnerable when surrounded in this manner. Plus, we do have to knock the enemy towers out. Looks like a warp lightning will come down, and that does mean there is a unit to chase and destroy. The enemy warlock engineer. Gotta get rid of it. Certainly don't want it dropping any more warp lightnings on our units as our towers disgorge them. You gotta love the way the Warp Lightning engineers, or the Warlock engineers, look, though. Gotta love those guys. Anyway, that guy is out, and our Wildwood Wardens are in on top of the walls now, and, well, it looks like they've taken up defensive position. So if the enemy rats want to move up here, they'll have to work through the Wildwood Wardens, which are, I bet, one of the best infantry units that we, well, definitely that we have, but for clearing the walls, because the Wildwood Wardens have area attacks and armor piercing at that, so the enemy will blob up here only to get absolutely ripped apart. Gonna get a little bit of support from our units of Way Watchers, now more numerous. And they're fantastic at sniping, and they will make sure that those death globes don't come back and rally. Same thing for the rattling guns and whatever else. We also, of course, have our regular Wildwood Rangers, which are just going to go up those towers and join the fray on top of the walls and help those Wildwood Wardens out. And there we go, this is a much better little matchup, a enemy blob of storm vermin against the Wardens and Rangers, who are now not going to be wasting their armor piercing on unarmored flesh. Gotta get that rock, paper, scissors going. Certainly gets me going, so I should go. But anyway, let's see. What do we have? It looks like our flyers are ready to move back into the fray with the enemy Warlock Engineer dead. We don't have to worry about either Warp Lightning or the Howling Warp Gale. The enemy Lord has moved up here to try to fight our Wildwood Rangers and Wardens, and all 4 of our Lord and Heroes have landed to try to bring him down and knock a few of those other storm vermin and just generally rats off the wall. We have, let's see, breached the wall, and it looks like our Wildwood Rangers and the Wardens of Sithral are attempting to make their way through the gate, though it does look like these storm vermin are holding. Clan Rictus, of course, a clan that's famed for producing storm vermin in high numbers and quality. And thus makes sense that it's storm vermin holding back the tide of Rangers. Though for how long they will hold them back remains to be seen. On top of the walls, at least on the left flank, it's mostly just piles of rat corpses. And they're certainly making swift work of all those clan rats and the storm vermin that sought to defend up here. Our away watchers are also still firing. Looks like the enemy lord is in pretty bad shape now, down to about maybe 20% of its HP. A little bit tougher on the right flank. I could still really use some casters in this army, or at least a caster in this army. Not much to say tactically about us right now, but I'm just really enjoying watching our units fight. Anyway, looks like the enemy lord has shattered, and that means we fly away for a little bit, drop a few arrows down into the enemies, both the Ruinous and the regular variety, to dish out a little bit more damage. Well, it looks like the enemy are still futilely attempting to make their way up on top of this wall, only to get absolutely slaughtered. Yeah, the enemy simply does not have sufficient range to threaten our units, and they, well, with this sort of reverse siege, it almost looks like it's the enemy attempting to make their way up the walls, rather than us. And against the AI, the sort of reverse siege is generally a very solid tactic if you have the right units, whether it be with melee or with range, as the enemy will just keep feeding your troops, or feeding their troops to your better troops. Which we can definitely see on display here. Anyway, the bounce power at about 80% in our favor now. The enemy lord's still alive and we'll kill it off in a few seconds once we're done with the flyers. Unfortunately, the enemy plague claw catapults did rally, so we had to quickly peel away and make sure that they don't get off a single shot. Time for us to leave the relative safety of the walls, however, and come down and fight in the burrow below said walls. We still haven't made our way through the gate, but there's similarly a pile of corpses below the Wildwood Rangers down there. And obviously, if we had a caster, a single dwellers below would have cleared out the blob of units, preventing us moving through the gate. But it is actually nice that we've gotten so many battles with this army without having to rely on a damaging cast to do all their work for them. And this is one of the reasons I have a tendency to favor buffing spells rather than high damage spells. Not because they're more effective, just because we get the chance to see our units fight, rather than have the mages take all the kills and do all the work. Harkening back to the Imric campaign, where the absolute legends of Michaela and Theoden just obliterated, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of rats. They just got ridiculous kill numbers and ridiculous damage numbers. Though I still do like the fact that we got 2 legendary mages out of that particular campaign. Anyway, bounce power, still about 80%, maybe moving close to 85% now. We are nearly out of ammunition on our way watchers, but the walls have been completely cleared, and we're starting to finally make our way through the gate. Our Glade Lord and Glade Captains have joined our Wildwood Rangers and Wardens and down below as well, and are, by the looks of it, nearly ready to clear this place out and burn it down. It is their capital after all, and we do want to deprive them of their landmark and their probably biggest money-making territory. And there we go, rats around the gate have failed, and our Wildwood Rangers and Wardens will charge on towards whatever units remain. There are still a few Storm Vermin and Clan Rat units ready to fight. We're going to charge on through them with our Eagles, get a little bit of that bleed action going. And of course, a few of the enemy units are still scurrying, but those that are doing so are also blocking off a few of the Rangers. Once again, I do, however, find myself wishing that that sort of net effect that you get from the enemy Night Runners or Gutter Runners, I really wish they did away with that. I really dislike that effect, and I feel like I say it every time I see it, but just, I don't know. We got a lot of great looking units in this game, and very nice effects of various kinds, and then that ugly net just going over everything. Seems unnecessary. I just don't want to miss out on the glorious melee combat, that's all I'm getting at. Anyway, it looks like these storm vermin will rout and actually, by the looks of it, shatter as the last of them give up, and the battle will be ours. Certainly did have to work for the walls and work for the gate as we did take damage, though as to how many actual losses we suffered in terms of unit numbers remains to be seen. I'd still wager it wasn't a crazy amount, but damn if I don't love taking enemy settlements this way. Ah, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful work by the Wildwood Rangers and Wardens alike. There's always been something very viscerally satisfying about taking walled settlements by storm rather than bombarding or just missile trooping, whatever, them into submission. Have to work for our sieges. Anyway, fantastic work. Tons and tons of kills, but it looks like this unit of Wildwood Wardens, 37k damage and 334 kills, vastly outdid all the rest. Well done to you. I'm gonna make sure to give you guys your name first, if I remember to do so. Anyway, we're gonna raise the place. Ooh, what's the likelihood that this is a special location? No, I don't think so. If it's not a special location for these guys, it's probably not a special location for us. I'm just thinking like Black Crag that gives us a 10% faction wide, but also do we want to hold this place? It's kind of far from everything. Raise. And if anybody wants to reclaim it, it's, well, it's up to them. Lovely. That's the capital of Clan Rictus Gun. We got a Warrior Bane as our reward as well. And I guess we're stuck where we are. We can take Mount Greyhag and whatever else is around next. And I'm sure Imric will love us for this. In fact, I will do this. Unlike the Cathians, I don't think Imric is super likely to betray us. None of the other elves have betrayed us. Could it be something wrong with the Cathian AI? I actually remember this happening repeatedly in other campaigns as well. I would have thought that it was a Tzeentch thing if it wasn't for the fact that both of the Cathian factions betrayed us at the same time, or canceled our agreements, rather. Which then again, that does feel like a Tzeentch thing. I don't know. But nothing we can do about it. Anyway, folks, with that, I do believe we're out of time, and I am going to have to call the episode here. A fun one with that particular fight, though. Next time, we'll see if Orion can't find himself a Throt, a Dastan, or a Be'lakor to hunt down. We still got a little bit of a while until the hunt unslumbers, but that's all right. We do actually want to try to go forward in turns for a few turns, because we do have various trees that are growing at a fairly rapid pace, and that means more rituals and more fun. We do still have 2 massive ritual armies, hopefully, to fight, and they were allowed to reach tier 3, so I imagine Deru is going to have a heck of a fun time fighting them as well. And just to double check, Dave, look at that. All your Glade captains have reached rank 14, which means they all get the Wildwood Veteran trait, giving a +2/+2 melee attack and defense for all the Wildwood Rangers and Wardens. Like so. Wildwood Veteran. And Retinue Valet, I guess. And Wildwood Veteran. And Retinue Valet. Also, you are through Swinging Boughs. We're still a little bit away until we get Shield of the Forest and even more armor and melee defense and physical resistance for those Wildwood Rangers and Wardens, but they're starting to get nice and strong. Look at that, 68, 68, one short of nice, but getting there in terms of their traits. And 70 armor. Well, I guess it's a good idea that I ended up not putting a war drum in this army, because it would have just disappeared like all the other Cathian stuff. And actually, since the war drums disappeared, I guess another thing that we'll want to do, since we're not building Cathian units, I guess, is go to Yvresse and build ourselves another couple of war lines. Okay, 1 war line now, and then another one later. And Ara will be transferring stuff. Anyway, as I said, calling it here. Next time we got, well, plenty more fighting all over the place to do. I'm also kind of curious to see if we can get anything interesting out of the Galleon's graveyard if we were to take it for ourselves. Though I imagine not, because most factions don't have anything interesting out of it, but anyway. Sisters of Twilight on field, they're get their armies soon. Draika and Coadil will be on field in just a couple of turns. 3 turns, but getting there. And of course, we'll have to give them a proper stack as well, so stay tuned for that as well. Ooh, another Grove Guardian. Yeah, but it's not useful for Drika, because she's not going to have the tree can. I have to go with another one of these. But anyway, yeah. All glory to the algorithm. Likes and comments for the hour-long episode 2 Threshold. And thanks for watching.